Eric Bakker, the Naturopath. Thanks for coming back. Here's a question. Siberian pine nut oil, is that good for you or what? Didn't hear of that one before, but I remembered I have heard of it before because I've had patients who've taken this stuff, particularly a couple of people in Europe. I think they were in the southern part of Europe where they've taken this and asking me about it. So you need to be careful with nut oils in general. Pine nut oils are highly concentrated, so people have this sort of weird belief that you can have tablespoons of everything per day, and you'll have a cup full of yogurt in the morning, then you'll have a couple of tablespoons of kefir later in the day, you'll have sauerkraut with your meal, you have a tablespoon of this oil and a tablespoon. You end up coughing, sneezing, leaking everywhere, all these oils and stuff. It's too much. All right, you don't need all these kind of oils. Small amounts. I've got pine nut kernels. What I would do is I'd get maybe a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons and sprinkle it on top of a salad. Roast it a little bit. Nice. Okay, start drinking the oils. You need to be a little bit careful. All right. Now this stuff here is good though. Okay, it's got this stuff in it called pinolenic acid, so quite unique to pine oil. I just checked it out. It's got very interesting. So it's an isomer, or it's a part of something that makes up gamma linoleic acid, or GLA, which is an omega-6. Now some websites you'll read say, don't take pine nut oil, it's dangerous, and then all of a sudden the health benefits of pine nut oil. So you get slapped in the face and you get kissed on the other side on the internet. That's just how it is. You've got to be careful. All right, something gets booted and then they pat it, so be careful. All right, common sense. Don't listen to this guy or that guy. Listen to the guy in between. All right, because usually you've got to take the middle path, especially with health. We all know that. All right. So GLA is good. We know that. If we look at evening primrose oil, for example, high in gamma linoleic acid, great for period pain. All right, good for skin problems, for example, anti-inflammatory. So this can activate various pathways in the body, immune pathways. But if we have a look more particularly at the pinolenic acid, what it does is interesting. It increases this hormone called cholecystokinin, or CCK, and also GLP-1. So these hormones have an effect on appetite control. They also regulate production of stomach acid. The hormones of the gut are very interesting to look at, and what actually ramps them up and down. But this pinolenic acid does have an interesting effect on suppressing appetite a bit. But also it's good for people with ulcers. So if you've got an ulcer, you might want to take a teaspoon of this 20-30 minutes before a meal or in the morning. So a great thing for Barrett's esophagus, or like reflux disease, or GERD, stuff like that. Instead of taking all those things in the morning, tablespoons of that creamy crap from the doctor, try some, as I've always said to patients, some raw cabbage juice, and then maybe later in the day a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of this pine oil, because it will settle the tummy down. It reduces acid production, and that's quite good, but also it increases insulin secretion a little bit, so it's not bad for diabetics. Okay, but just be careful with these oils. You can't go putting tablespoons on top of everything, porridge and salads, and people put oil on everything today. It's weird. Probably even put oil on ice cream. Thanks for tuning in.